Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise. Fasting in Ramadan is a part of the broader program that Islam prescribes for man to fulfill his moral and spiritual destiny in this world and also in the hereafter. It is the special worship designed to develop in man the ability to exercise self-restraint and patience for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man's creator, Lord and nourisher. Its objective is to give man the power to keep in check his unruly desires and tendencies that make him prone to greed, revenge, anger, provocation, and fear, that make him commit various sins, acts of aggression, cruelty, and oppression. We'll be discussing a lot about the fasting and the practices during the holy month of Ramadan. We're joined with Dr. Mahmoud al-Dinawy. He's the professor of Islamic Studies at Al-Azhar University. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining us on Nile Cruise. Sir, first of all, Ramadan, I believe it is a perfect opportunity for everyone to change his attitude and to tame his tempers. How do you think this can be applied in our daily lives as a Muslim?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, Ramadan should always be the start for everybody. If someone, for example, because we spend at least in some countries 15 hours, maybe 20, maybe more, so this is a good chance, as Sharif said, for example, to stop, to get rid of desires, for example, that are not in agreement with the religion, or to be a new person in a way, right? So this is a very good chance to some people, for example, who they use Ramadan as a new beginning to give up smoking, right? So they take a long time not smoking, so it's a good chance for them anyway. Yeah. It's a good chance to change our bad habits and replace them with good habits. So, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should not forget the most important purpose of fasting. He said in Surah Al-Baqarah, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, in order to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to have piety. If you have piety, this is the thing that moves you, that controls everything. Whenever you are about to do something illegal, piety or righteousness, it will say to you, no, don't do this. So Ramadan is like a motive that encourages you not to do bad things or bad deeds, or to be as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, to get the utmost of the significance of your creation is to be a worshipper to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, submissiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes, having this fact that Ramadan comes every year sounds like putting the Muslim into track.
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing across the year, then you comes, like you mentioned, during the fasting times in specific, you try to be the right Muslim.
Yeah.
You try to do the good things, you try to focus on being a better person. So do you think this every year sort of practice or Islamic practice helps the Muslim to be regaining his good habits across the year?
Yeah, it's a kind of, as we usually do, I always say that Ramadan is like a month of maintenance. So sometimes the body itself needs maintenance, as cars, for example. The same thing, the spirit itself needs maintenance. So it's the time for spirituality. It's a time to forget about the life pleasures and live as someone who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as a new life. So again, it's a very good chance to do many things, to try to change a little bit, because everybody is thinking about, I want to change, and I don't find the chance. So the chance is here. You might live 11 months, and then you'll still have the months as reminder. It says to you, okay, you need to change, you need to stop. If you are, it's like in commerce or in trade, for example, they have what's called loss and gains, right? So Ramadan is the same thing. At the end of the year, before Ramadan comes, you need to have a plan. What things I have done that I have to stop, and what new things that I have to do to...
Doctor, speaking about the gains, what are the awards promised to those who fast Ramadan righteously?
Okay. There is an authentic hadith which says, "Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi." The one who performs the fasting of Ramadan and he is totally waiting for the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because what happens is, some people, they use Ramadan not in a religious way. They say, oh, I am going to be on a diet, So the best thing to do is to fast Ramadan. That might be okay, but this is not the main significance of Ramadan. You do it as a worship, as something brings you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a hadith. Then the Prophet said in another hadith that Ramadan ila Ramadan wal Jum'ah ila Jum'ah, Ramadan to another Ramadan, if major sins are avoided, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive your sins. And the hadith said that when Ramadan comes, gates of paradise are opened. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says to paradise in Ramadan particularly, get your best decoration, get your best ornament, because my worshippers are about to have rest and about to have the month of Ramadan. And there are loads of blessings. The hadith says that if the ummah would know the blessings and the pleasures that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared for the believers in Ramadan, they would wish that the whole year is Ramadan. Every night, maybe every minute, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees some people from hellfire. He saves their lives, He admits them to paradise, you know. So there are lots of blessings and rewards, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in addition, in paradise there is a gate. It's made particularly for those who perform fasting. On the Day of Judgment, they will be called, like for example you or me or anybody or Sharif or anybody else will say, who are those who were fasting Ramadan? Come in, go to paradise of this gate particularly.
Yes. So would you recommend that the Muslim would be living Ramadan for the world, for today, or only for the hereafter?
Both.
How?
Okay. If we take Ramadan from, maybe there is wisdom, or there is a saying which says, for example, perform fasting and you will feel healthy. It's not a hadith, by the way. So, right, sometimes in order to have a good stomach or to have a good body, in a way, you need to stop eating specific foods, like for example those have fat and oil and sugar and all these things. So right, so this is improves your life, improves your health. Here Ramadan, as you already mentioned in the very beginning, right, it is among the teaches you how to have self-constraint, restraint, yeah, sorry. So it stops you from doing bad things, and so you can use this for this life. For the hereafter, what we are doing here, we are building or we are investing things here in order to find the reward in the akhirah. So because logically someone might say, what's the benefit of fasting? I can keep myself away from food and drink for 15 hours or maybe more. Why is that? You are committing a kind of torture to yourself. But no, I am waiting for the reward in the akhirah because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised me, and when Allah promises, surely He's going to fulfill His promise in a way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Definitely, there is also a lot of physical benefits when it comes to fasting. We spoke about religious and spiritual aspects.
Yeah.
We'll be speaking more about the benefits from a physical perspective with the Professor of Islamic Studies, Professor Mahmoud Dinawy. Thank you. And we'll be moving now to a break and returning back with you more.